I'm Joe, new player in Roblox today. I will play Skateboard first level, and I will tell you a story. Emma Brooks never thought a dusty garage could hold a secret that would change her life. She was only supposed to be helping her grandfather sort through boxes and old tools when she stumbled across a heavy wooden trunk tucked behind a stack of tires. Its lock was rusted, its surface covered in scratches, and when she pulled it open, a cloud of dust rushed out as if it hadn't been touched in decades. Inside, beneath faded postcards and yellowed photographs, was a leather-bound diary. The cover was cracked, the edges worn, but the name on the first page was still clear. James Walker, 1926. The year Route 66 was first opened. Emma flipped through the fragile pages and read about James's journey across America. A journey that didn't sound like just a road trip. He mentioned hidden messages, strange encounters, and a mission he never fully explained. The words lit a fire in her curiosity. 100 years ago, James had traveled Route 66, leaving behind breadcrumbs of something greater, and Emma felt an irresistible urge to follow his path. With her car packed and the diary in her lap, she set out to retrace his route across the United States. Her journey began in Illinois, where the first stretch of Route 66 still carried echoes of the past. Abandoned gas stations with peeling paint, neon signs that hadn't glowed in years, and diners that looked frozen in time. Each stop James had written about still existed, though weathered by nearly a century. At first, Emma thought it was nothing more than nostalgia, a glimpse into what once was. But the deeper she went, the more the diary seemed to guide her. In Oklahoma, James had described a diner booth carved with strange words. Emma found the diner, long shut down, its windows broken and floorboards warped. Yet, when she ran her hand over the booth in the corner, she saw the words scratched deep into the wood. Trust the stars! The same phrase written in James's careful handwriting. From that point on, she no longer believed this was just a travel journal. It was a map, a puzzle meant for someone who came after him. In New Mexico, she stopped at a crumbling motel that James had mentioned. She was taking photos when an elderly owner shuffled out, curious about why she was there. Emma showed him the diary, and his eyes widened. Without saying much, he disappeared inside and returned with a faded black and white photograph. In it, a group of travelers stood proudly in front of the motel sign, and among them was James Walker, looking exactly as he had been described in the diary. The photo was real, the connection undeniable. Emma pressed on, page after page, state after state. James had written about cryptic signs, symbols etched into stones, whispers of a secret carried across the land. As she neared Arizona, the diary grew darker, more secretive. James described meeting strangers who spoke in riddles, warning him of forces that wanted to keep something hidden. The final entry pointed Emma toward the desert, to a landmark carved with a symbol that looked like a circle split in half. She drove for hours, heat waves shimmering on the horizon, until she found it. A stone ridge marked with the same symbol. At its base, hidden behind brush and sand, was the entrance to a cave. Inside, the air was cool and heavy. Emma's flashlight beam swept across the walls, revealing carvings that matched the ones James had sketched in the diary. At the back of the cave lay a wooden chest, weathered but intact. Her hands shook as she lifted the lid. Inside were letters, diagrams, and brittle sheets of paper. At first glance, they seemed like blueprints. But for something extraordinary, a machine, unlike anything she had ever seen, designed to harness energy from the earth and sky, limitless and free. James had written about it in fragmented lines, warning that it was too powerful for his time, too dangerous for those who value profit over progress. The final page of the diary trembled in Emma's hands. James's words were simple but haunting. The world wasn't ready. Maybe the next generation will be. Emma sat in silence, the weight of the discovery pressing on her. This wasn't just history. It was a secret deliberately buried, forgotten on purpose. Corporations in the 1920s and 30s would have silenced such an invention instantly, and James had carried the burden of protecting it. As Emma emerged from the cave, the sun was setting in fiery streaks of red and orange over the desert. She closed the diary, holding it against her chest. She didn't know exactly what to do yet, whether to reveal everything or keep it safe. But she knew one thing for certain. James hadn't protected it for himself. He had left it behind for someone like her, someone who would care enough to follow his path. When she flipped back through the diary one last time that night, a line caught her eye, one she must have overlooked before. Written faintly at the bottom of an early page were the words, "If you're reading this, then you are part of the story now." Emma smiled, her headlights cutting through the desert as she drove back onto Route 66. The road stretched endlessly ahead, the stars beginning to shimmer in the sky above. And for the first time she understood why James had written, "Trust the stars." The journey wasn't over. It was only beginning.
Yes!